Oh, we out here, fam. We big out here. I hope we're all doing wonderful. Hope we're all feeling fantastic. Let's go ahead and get this stream on the road. Get this stream going. Boom. Welcome, everyone, down the rabbit hole. Yours truly, the Bugger Man. We're gonna see how this whole thing goes. Got a lot to talk about today, so hopefully we can get through it all. I don't know if it's gonna be a total run for like the whole thing. If we can get it in one shot, we're gonna try. So. Today's stream is specifically regarding this beauty right here. This is the Mixstream Pro Go. It is my little baby. You're currently listening to one of the latest Bucket originals found on SoundCloud. I also have released a few new mixes that I have recorded with this mixer here. And you can find those also through the links all around. I will go ahead and post a link tree. That way everyone knows. It's also listed on all my social medias. And I just updated it and made it all fancy. So if you post the link, Twitch, and that should show and post over to the restream and end up over here somewhere. There you go. So, please, we will keep this nice and down low so we can still talk, do things. That's also why I'm gonna have to rewatch this tomorrow and see how it is. So I am your host, the Bucket Man. I hope you all either know me or get to know me very well. I do bucket list things. I've lived a bucket list life, and now I'm here to share that experience with everyone and teach everyone how to do it, and hopefully inspire you all to do the same. So I've spent literally decades training and working and being in the field, and I got my degree in sociology and art and creative business of all types. So I've learned to do all of my fun passions and make something out of them. So that is my goal for everyone and my goal for all of us. So I've liked to create my own music. I created music before I ever played music. So the way to play your music out to people is this. This is one of the big ways to do it. So I'm really happy to be able to do that. And it is kind of important to me that we all find a passion. So I also do paintings and I do other creative medias as well. I do logo design and website building and so many different things. And it's just important to me. All I wanted to do was art and be a creative, and it required a lot of other talents. So I just try to get by and do what I can. So tonight we will be talking about one of the tools that I've used along my journeys. I've used many of controllers, many of contraptions and DJ hardware, all the way from CDJ 3000X's all the way down to old school CDJ 1000s, 1200 techniques with actual records and I've dabbled in a little bit of everything over my literal decades of doing this, so it's been fun. This has been one of my latest tools that I've used, and it's something that I have found very useful for on the go and being about and being portable and trying to adapt to your environment, which is pretty important in this game. So that's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna be sipping on a Mio tonight. I've been using these Mios. Usually I have the caffeinated ones, but it's evening time, so I'm trying to wind down. They got these new unwind ones with some magnesium and B vitamins. So we'll see how it does. I'm just trying to get some thoughts out of my head on this product, on this thing, on what it's done for my career and what it could do for everyone else's career. It's served me really well. At this current point, I'm truly thinking that I might be ready to downsize, so I have put this one up for sale. That was not with an easy decision, but it served me really well. I got this controller originally so I wouldn't have to use some super fancy multi-$1,000 equipment and a multi-$1,000 MacBook on the beach. We were working in Hawaii and we were doing forest parties, beach parties, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it ended up being kind of busy. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this review in a more professional manner. This is all my streaming setup and my streaming kind of arrangements. So guess what? I've made a fancy new border so we can go ahead and just focus on the content. I think this is nice. I think it's really pretty. It's short to sweet to the point. It's got my artwork around it. It's got some cool custom graphics going on in the background, and creates a little border and shows you just a little bit of my spice. And down here, all of you tuned in, it will end up showing down there. This is yet again another late night stream, so I don't know who's gonna tune in. It might just be Tot Worldwide tonight, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I just know that I've been meaning to talk a lot about this controller. I don't think I have the right camera position to talk about all of the details of what it can perform. So I think I'm going to do a 2-part series on this, where I'm going to introduce the controller now and tell you kind of a little bit about it, and where it lays in the whole range of controllers in the world. And I say controller lightly because it's truly a full-on device, and it's an actual machine instead of a piece of plastic that talks to a computer. So right now, that's what I'm saying I need to downsize into, because realistically, I don't need the hardware here. I have this thing. This has plenty of horsepower for me to do the stream and the stuff and be perfectly fine. So, speaking of what this controller is capable of, I will go ahead and mix you guys over to some details of it. We have some specs in the spec sheet of the Numark Mixstream Pro Go. So that is the controller we are talking about today. It has a few specific features that really make it what it is. The Pro and the Go and the Mixstream all mean very much things. That this is meaningful. So we're gonna go ahead and put on a mix in the background that I made with this controller. You can go ahead and check out my SoundCloud. As you can see, I need to update the Waikiki. I ain't in Waikiki no more. I'm over in Phoenix, Arizona. I have updated my link tree, so please go ahead and check out the link tree. You could view it on your mobile just by QR coding down there in the corner. go ahead and do that, or link tr.ee/thebucketman, THEE, as you see there. Shakespearean the, like I said, degree in sociology. I studied people, I studied English, I studied literature of all different types, religions, travel, cultures. It's been amazing, and I first-handedly have traveled to over 30 countries and 5 of the 7 continents, and been able to experience vast amounts of the world. So it's very much led to my creative career and things and such. So we'll go ahead and, I don't know why that didn't start. It didn't start because I didn't do that, and then I gotta do this over here. And I'll do this and turn this down and turn this up a little bit. Okay, so I don't think that'll bother us too much. You can tell me otherwise in the chat. I know there might be 1 or 2 of you in the chat. So this is also why I'm doing this now, is because I really wanted to keep the mic back there and see how it would work and see if I could do it. It might. I might be able to. It just depends. Let me see here. I could actually see right now. It just depends. Let me see here. I could actually see right now. I mean, it seems okay. I might be able to leave it where it's at. It's a good microphone. It's a shout out to the Blue Yeti snowball mic. These are super cheap, but they're fantastic. They work really well. As with a lot of the equipment that I use, it's very budget equipment for the most part, and that's kind of one of the major points of this stream today, is to show you guys what the capabilities of is something that it's how you use the equipment that makes it world class, not just having the fanciest thing you could possibly have. I ran a cruise ship contract for a $20,000 cruise ship contract to DJ, and it was on a $250 controller that I did not plan. I didn't plan to use that thing. They said they had professional equipment. They did not have professional equipment. They asked me what I had in my backpack. That didn't work, but it worked for a while. I made them buy me something. It took me months and months to get it, but it was fine. That's the story for another day. I'll talk about that whole contract and the experience. So that's another thing, is like, I've gone from DJing in a bedroom for funsies and then wanting to do it for my friends. After I produced music, I made albums and I did that, but then I also I was a SoundCloud producer first, and then I started spinning music, and when I started spinning, I just did it for friends, and I did it at low parties and undergrounds and things like that. And then it started getting into paid gigs and working residencies at nightclubs, and then getting paid for festivals, and got booked for Santa Cruz Music Festival and Solstice in the Central Valley, and Pride Festival in San Francisco, and so many cool things that I got paid to party and paid to have a great time and share my talent with other people. So that's where I gained the actual experience and the knowledge and the tenure on the experience. That's what they call it, your tenure. If it's your tenure in whatever industry or talent you have, you've put 10 years into your experience, and you've gained that ability. On the ship alone, I had thousands of hours of crowd work in 6 months, which is crazy. To get 1,000 hours of crowd work period as a DJ is intense, and like, to be able to cram that into a 6-month period is amazing. And like, it definitely created a comfort and created an ability to push myself in that way. So without further ado, to get all of these mixes, I have 100+ mixes here on my SoundCloud. So Tuesdays Volume 39 was just released a few months ago. And so go ahead and check out. Each series is a different thing. Down the Rabbit Hole is here live on Twitch. So when I go live on Twitch and on YouTube, those streams get here. So that's where you are listening to now. This was a 2-hour stream that I did, and then I ended up posting it. So yeah, it's and if you go into the actual mix itself, you can go into the details. I do have the boy over here, Chris. He went up and ringing Mr. Don. He is a big, long-time follower of the bucket. First comment, first love, big ups, much love. Thank you, buddy. So shout out that way. But as you can see, I do have a recording live on YouTube, so you can click through and it will show you the actual Down the Rabbit Hole when I performed this set. So very neat, very fun, and you can see all the different ways that I've perfected in how to record what we experience and what we want to show off, and the story that I want to tell. Each mix is a story, and each one has a very good purpose to why I spun those tracks. It's regarding the purpose of that day, the moment, the journey, the message that I'm trying to portray, a lot of different things. So really, really fun things, and these are the things that I give with my lessons and my tots, and I've been teaching things to people and learning from others for the entire time. So now I offer full-on lessons and classes. So if you ever want private lessons in a private class, I do them here digitally and I do them in person. So please reach out at any of my social medias. Jump on over to the link tree. You can see all these fancy new links I put at the top. So if you want to see my Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, or guess what? I have exclusive content. I'm now on Patreon, so please check out my Patreon, become one of my first subscribers, and get early releases to all of my new materials, my mixes, my back scenes, my behind the scenes travel stuff. I'm gonna be posting so many thousands of pages of content on there. It's gonna be lots of stuff. So check out any of these if you have Instagram, Discord, Facebook, old school, or if you just want to message me directly from here, you can click here and send me a message, and you can give me your email address and your phone number, and I'll reach right back out to you, and we'll get in contact. I love you guys, and it's all about that. So if you need any help with anything, or if you just want to talk about life, please reach out. We out here. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Mixstream Pro Go from Numark. Numark is actually a brand that means a lot to me. It was the brand of controller that I took on the cruise ship, unexpectedly used for half of the sailing, basically. So it is something that really wasn't planned, but it was definitely something that I wanted to see what would happen. You know, there's nothing I could do at the time. I went on with that piece of hardware. It was a Mixtrack Pro Go. No, it was a Mixtrack Pro 3. We'll go ahead over to their controller products. What's the closest thing they got? So it's like this Pro FX. It was this kind of 2-channel, very basic controller, but had long faders, had all the great functions, and it worked perfectly. And the only problem I had was at the end of the cruise ship. I mean, like I said, I was working 8 to 12 hours a day of mixing, and ended up blowing some faders out. All of the faders stopped working. Many of the knobs stopped working mid-ship, and there's nothing I could do. I still have the controller in the garage, and it's gonna hang up on the wall soon. So look for a new wall ornament soon. But yeah, so now I have upgraded to this new controller, and I used it for the all-in-one purpose. So the whole point was to plug some USBs into it and have multiple DJs go back to back and switch off and be a productive controller for a portable spot. That was something that was really important. I gotta ban this guy. There we go. Okay. So where were we at? Yes, so this is a controller basically. As you can see, portability. That's the whole purpose of it. No cords, no nothing. And you can walk around with it on your shoulder like a boombox, literally. So it's got built-in speakers, built-in battery, and all of the functions you could ever need. You can actually slot it with an SD card, and you don't even need to bring a USB. It always has up to a terabyte plus of music portably. So it's very cool. I always leave one of my 256 gig drives in it, and it just has a ton of my music permanently. So very neat, very fun. What you can also do is plug in an external USB hub, and the USB hub has multiple attachments. You can use up to seven different USBs on the hub attached into one. It's crazy. So when you got a DJ party going on, you can have everyone throw them together, and you can have a back to back to back to back to back. It's fantastic. The one thing I will say is when you start to put that much stress on it, and you got a lot of different things, especially when you have lots of large drives, anything over 64 gigs, I would say keep it under 32 to be best if you're using multiples. And that's just because out of one USB, you will slow down the whole unit. It's a tablet in here. So, I mean, you can see the unit itself. It's not a large unit. It's small. It's portable. I can throw this thing around. And as you can see, yeah, here, I'll unplug all the wires, and totally wire free. So very neat. The attachments on the back, you can see some of the I/O. We'll go through the I/O. Boom. We got 2 USB ports, a USB port for your laptop, so it can be a controller, which is very sweet when you mix it with Serato. This thing is sick. It has full menu operation of your Serato touchscreen and everything. Fantastic. And it gives you operation of stems. It turns your roll channel into stems. Fantastic. You can reprogram it and make it like the double layer of the roll to make it stems only. There's lots of different ways to program it, but I do appreciate it. The stems on Serato are much better than Rekordbox and almost as good as Algorithm. Algorithm DJ by far, even for the iPad, that thing rips with stems. You can take the vocals out of anything and everything, and it sounds crystal clear with all of the harmonics of the track. So the best part about this Mixstream is the I/O. The outputs are both mains, so these are both operated with the same main knob, but it is RCAs, and I love it, the XLRs. The XLRs are very key when you're hooking up with any professional sound equipment. We used to hook up with EVs, with QSCs, with a whole bunch of different fancy equipment, and these helped immensely for any buzzing and feedback. So the RCAs tend to, especially when you're running power, I highly recommend hooking up the ground unit, because if you don't hook up the ground unit, you will receive buzzing. It is very noticeable, and it comes through on the recordings. Just a pro tip. That is also something that I do not recommend this controller for, is doing recordings specifically. If that is something that you are trying to do, the recordings from this unit, if not plugged into an external mixing computer, it sounds dull. It does not sound as crispy and as full as a record box or even algorithm DJ recording, which is what you're hearing right now. This was actually mixed with algorithm on this controller hooked up to this PC. So used with a USB cord, I hooked up to this, and then it was mixing through algorithm. So that was a very neat way to do it. And I will go ahead and switch back over here so you can see some of the different things. So as you can see, laptop free is one of the major benefits of this controller. So you physically don't even need a laptop. You can go ahead and utilize this with just a USB card. And the USB can either be formatted via record box, or it could be just regular MP3s. The best is if it's formatted through Engine DJ, which is the Denon and Numark proprietary software. And Denon's is the parent company to Numark. They're all owned by the same conglomerate. So the Denon Mini units, this is the same brain and same technology that's in those. It's the same software that is used in the Denon Prime 4, their big, nice, portable unit. But it is a cheaper tablet inside, I will admit, and it does not record nearly as well as I thought it would. So, if you're trying to do it for your own recordings and things like that, I strongly recommend using it through Serato or Algorithm to do that. Algorithm does not support the touch screen here, so if you're using it with Algorithm DJ, this just gets turned into a giant screen that says USB connection activated, and then it is just using the software through your computer. So you can go ahead and utilize it through Serato, and Serato will actually utilize all of the playlists. You can access all your crates, and it's very, very sweet. Oh, I started playing a track on here as a pre-play. I didn't know what was happening. It pre-played a track and it started doing it in my headphones, but I didn't want to do that. So yeah, and another thing is, so we'll go with the name and how it's laid out. Mixstream from Numark. It's I had the mix track before, where you had to have your tracks and you had to have it on the computer. But here it's Mixstream. You don't even need your tracks on a USB. You literally you can sign in to your equipment, and it has full Wi-Fi. This thing can Wi-Fi connect, and you can literally use your SoundCloud. You can use Tidal. You can use Apple Music now. They've Apple Musicified it. Yeah, right here, even Beatport. So if you have a real DJ, if you're a real DJ, and you got your Beatport tracks, and you've paid big money, thousands of dollars for your Beatport collection, you have full high definition access to your Beatport collection right here. Very sweet. It blows me away about how easy it is, and I've used it live during gigs and everything, and I've been desperate enough to even hotspot from my phone the internet to this to Wi-Fi, so I could actually stream tracks that people were requesting, because it was in one of those parties, and you get a bunch of people, and they all want to play their music, and they have requests. So if I don't have it, I will usually try to find it and try to make it happen. So it's very neat and very cool for that. If you're a working DJ and you're doing gigs that require you to be on the spot and have more than just a library that you need, the Mixstream part of it is fantastic. The pro side of it, I will say the pro side of this controller is going to be in the fact of how damn durable it's been. fucking love how much I've been able to put this controller through. I've had dozens and dozens of DJs hit this controller. DJs who use all professional Pioneer equipment only, people who've used Allen and Heath mixers and a bunch of custom things. One of the guys was super into his little new Denon portable unit that it has the same brain and layout, and he was so hyped on it, and he kept bringing it out to the beach and everything, and we were using that to start out. And then all of a sudden, like, I was getting cramped on it. It has teeny tiny little wheels on it, if you guys have ever seen it. And the layout of the everything is just, it's very cramped. So this has a much more spread out layout. I mean, you can see it's just super more laid out. Like, that's crazy. And you just have function. The one thing I will say, look at how tiny these little, I hate how tiny the faders are for the time code. Like, the pitch bending, I cannot. I need longer pitch bend faders. Like, it is annoying. I will give them, these are super accurate, and you can turn them all the way down to plus or minus 4, which is really helpful. So plus or minus 4 all the way to, there's 4, 8, 16, 50, and then 100, I think. Don't quote me, you can check on the thing, but it's very convenient, and it works well. And these middle paddle flippers for the effects, super fun. You can activate them by holding them down, and then you hold it by flipping it up, and it stays up until you flip it back down. So if you're fading out of a track and you want to hold the echo on while you got the other one going, you got the other beat going, then you can backspin out and then bring it down, and like, it feels like you're doing stuff. It's fun. It's the same layout as like a battle mixer for turntables, but it's set up for DJing like a controller. It's kind of weird. It's a very much a mashup of a controller, and the fact that these turn wheels are so large makes it so much comfortable for DJs to use. So on the beach, I had true back-to-back comparison, and I had DJs literally get to use both controllers, which had the same software, same everything, but it was just those. And this one's made of plastic, quote unquote, then that one's made of metal. It's got metal faceplate on it, but this one has the metal grills on it, and the speakers, everyone was tripping on them when they first started. They sounded really good. They sound really good. I mean, I've used them for hundreds of hours at this point, and now this right one's a little blown. It sounds a little crunchy, so does need a replacement. I can definitely help rewire one of those. Not that big of a deal. I actually am looking into doing a upgrade kit for these, so DJs can have nicer ones with real amplifiers built in. So it shouldn't be too hard. There's plenty of room inside the controller to work with. I've opened it a couple of times just to check on different components of it, but it is super easy to work on. So I do commend it for that. Just the easeability of it, and the way that everything is set up, it's comfortable. So we'll admit all that. And then the Go in the name, that's the last thing to talk about. Mixstream Pro and the Go is standalone. You literally don't need anything. You can have a USB of music and plug it in. You don't even need that. Now that I think about it, that is so crazy. You could literally just have SoundCloud playlists of music you had on SoundCloud, and load them up on here, sign into your SoundCloud on your Wi-Fi, and it just plays it. Now you cannot record. You cannot record anything from SoundCloud. If you want to do that, you got to be a pirate of the 7 Seas. Go rip your stuff from SoundCloud and do it like a real man, and put it on a USB, and you gotta read it on a software and then export it and do it properly. And that's how you really get your tracks ripped, and now you can record any of these. Like, all these are recorded tracks. But I recorded the mix. I did not. You can't buy this track. You physically can't buy this track. It's something I found, dude. Good luck. Good luck finding it. By the way, I do have bucket USBs on availability, so let me know if you're looking for some music libraries. $50 for 250 tracks. Yeah, hard. All certified bangers from nightclubs, festivals, whatever you're looking for, whatever vibe you're trying to hit. If you're trying to get a warehouse going, if you're trying to get a lounge, just vibing and chilling, I can help you out with that too. If you want some reggae music for the smoke out, hit me up. I got you for all of it. Mom always said sharing is caring, you heard? And she always said if you're good at something, don't do it for free. So, the Go being the battery power, it does last about 4 hours on a single charge. 3 to 5 hours. So if you're using it like full volume and you're using the front speakers and all the stuff of it, full brightness, things like that, about 3 hours on battery. But if you got the brightness turned down, you got the speakers off on here because you got an actual monitor set up, that would be nice. You get a monitor on each side like a real DJ should. And then you don't need to use these. Then it can last up to like 5-6 hours, which we've definitely utilized at the beach before. It's handy as could be. Your power source doesn't have to suck from this thing. And then when this thing gets low, then you can plug it into the external battery and then keep it going. But your external battery can focus on the speakers and the subwoofers and the things and the stuff. So it makes it very convenient. Over here, I would say the cool factor also is the touchscreen. The thing that I didn't think I would like at all, because I was so used to the knob of everything for a decade plus. I've been using a knob and selecting my music. And so now being able to go through here and swipe left, swipe right, and set things where I want them. It's very neat. I love it. It's very convenient. It's something that I really and then when you actually are in the middle of a mix, you can go over to the touch effects, and you got touch effects, and now is it all unplugged? Yeah, it's unplugged. So now you literally have no. So while you're mixing here, you can go through your playlist. Let's switch this over. Go through your playlist. If you want to load a track, say I want this Jay-Z Linkin Park remix of Numb. Fire. Let's swap that over to the right-hand side. Then you can play it from the speaker here. Pretty crazy. And then I have all my effects. I have anything I want. A little crunchy. We got filter. And then over here, you got this button right here. And you got all the touch effects. So, wait, fix it. So, very fire, very sweet. I don't know. It's super sick, and the fact that it's very much a modular system that doesn't have much going on. It's 2 channels. It gets you to focus on your music, focus on your mix, and really just become one with the music. I really do love it. And when you get into all of the little functions and stuff, I mean, look, it's got a lighting button here because it functions with DMX lighting, guys. It literally can function with your DMX lighting. It has full-on Wi-Fi, all of the coolest features you can imagine. The smart sync and the smart scratch are very cool. I have my sync button set to just beat match, not beat match, to BPM match. So it's something where it still uses a manual touch to everything that I do. But it allows me, if I'm in a high stress situation, or if I'm trying to loop tracks really fast or do something quickly, I can use it in an emergency. I never fault a DJ for a sync button, and I strongly encourage people to do them and utilize the tools at our disposal if it makes you a better DJ. If it's something that you can utilize and it makes you do something extra and special, or you're managing a show and a stream and a thing and a stuff, then by all means, please use what you have. We have tools, guys. Why are we using them? Well, this is already out the window because we have so much of a computer going on. Like, I mix vinyls as well. So I'm very aware of knowing how to manually read a BPM by ear and by functioning a DJ console without ever looking at a screen. But this is helpful. So I'll give it that. And it does allow you to even mix without headphones, but I don't do that because I prefer being able to listen to it first and hear exactly which part of the track I want to bring in, which notes are gonna mix with the other notes. I'm mixing by key, by ear all the time. So I don't mix by key by looking at, oh, that key says it'll mix with that key. No, I mix with my ear and I listen. Does this go with that? Does that layer with this? If I bring it in here, can I make it fit there? And like, it's all live. It's all in the feel, in time. And one of my old mentors had me used to mix with blindfold and like literally listen to the music and feel the track out. And like, it's something that's really important to do. So these are the types of skills that you'll learn by utilizing a very basic E controller, as opposed to something with all the bells and whistles and doodads everywhere. It's nice to have just a kind of simplified version of what you need in life. You don't need a lot. Like I was saying, I ran a multi-million-dollar sound system on the cruise ship and a 6-month paid contract for 20 grand on a piece of plastic Numark that was cheaper than this. It had less features than this. And it's all about how you use it and what you can do with it. Is that I also had that connected to a $3,000 MacBook. So realize that that's one of the main benefits of these Mixstream units, is that it's an all-in-one encompassing thing. So you really don't need another laptop when using it. I will admit that when you're using it live or you're using it for a really high-end event or something, putting it with a laptop would give you much more reliability. The unit does kind of bug out and get slow, especially when using lots of different USBs and such. It's a tablet. It's not a MacBook, so you can't expect it to run like your M1 MacBook Pro, your M5 MacBook Pro, okay? Or your Tower PC for that matter. But when I have it hooked up to the Tower PC, shit works damn good. Not a single hiccup. But yeah, I really encourage it. I'm looking to downgrade soon, so if anyone is interested, this unit is listed on my Facebook Marketplace. You can go ahead and check it out on my Facebook links in my link tree and such. I have it listed for $550. These things are like $890, I think, $855, brand new. I picked up mine, it shipped and everything to Hawaii was like $1,000. So I ended up getting a case for it and making it all pretty, and it's traveled and been used and loved and cared for. But it's also, I mean, there's zero problems with it. The browse function just snapped. I'll give it that. But other than that, functionally, 100%, every port, every connection, beautiful functioning controller. So stoked with it, and it's been a really good soldier. So I spent 2 years with it. Figured I needed to get an actual review out of it. I think after looking this video over, I might go into a more in-depth like function video of how it actually functions, versus like how it served me in life and how it can potentially be utilized as a starter unit, or even just a unit that you use for a collective. I have a guy who's hopefully going to be looking at it this weekend for a trade, and he wants to use it for his art collective as a portable unit for being out in the desert. So perfect scenario where you don't want to take out something that's going to be a multi-$1,000 unit, but you want something that's substantial and feels like a hardy piece of hardware. And like I've had DJs who've been in this for decades, and they run up to this unit, they've never used it before, and they're swiping around, they're touching the thing, and they're like, oh, this is pretty cool, okay, I like this is fun, like this is neat, and it's spread out well, and it's laid out very logically, so it makes sense, it works well. I absolutely adore it. Big thumbs up for Numark. If I was to give it a rating, 8.7 out of 10. I would say the few things that were lacking is a stronger tablet system inside the unit. Having longer range selectors on this unit would be huge improvement. And maybe going through the effects and changing it out. You really only get the 4 built-in effects. You get echo, flanger, delay, and phaser. Echo, delay, and phaser are all really damn close. They don't sound too different. So if I could have some transposers, some different kind of spiral effects or something, it would be cool. The other thing is the saved loop function. I did not like the way that there is a loop in and loop out using the saved loop. The only other way to get loops is auto loop, and when you do the auto loop, you can cut it down by instead of a whole, you can go down to a half, and then if you go into the seconds, you can go into quarters. But that's really it. You can't. There's no halving or doubling on here. So once you have a saved loop, it's in and out, but there's no way to shorten it or lengthen it. So it's cumbersome on certain behalves. I will say that if there is a way to do that, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know in the chat. But as far as I can know, the saved loops has been a minor inconvenience, to say the least. Other than that, I've loved the performance of the controller. It's been well and beyond my expectations of what I thought it would obtain. I thought it was going to be a 1 year controller, and the sand and the humidity would eat it up. Sure enough, it spent 2 years on the beach almost, and almost an entire year here in the desert, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So I'm really happy with the performance of this controller. It served me really well. I'm really happy to see it go to a new owner and a new kind of adventures that it gets to continue. So without further ado, I think that's going to be it. I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. The Mixstream Pro Go, the coolest boombox that you can take. You can take this thing anywhere. Like literally, I've mixed with it in cars. I've mixed with it on bicycles. I've mixed with it just in so many, on the beach, in a forest, on a cliff, anywhere you want. I'm just saying, laying in bed, I just brought it into the bed and just chilled. Like, these speakers are good enough for that. And like, you got your headphones on, your speaker, and you're good. Oh, and I did not mention that it does have 1/4-inch mic on the front with volume, and it has not only an 1/8 inch. It's got a 1/4 inch as well for your headphones. Big boy 1/4 inch. And the XLRs on the back. I'm just saying, this thing is a beast when used properly. And even when not used properly, and just took out of a box and plugged in to charge for the first time. You unplug it and you put it on your lap in your couch, and you get to sign into your SoundCloud and start mixing away and having fun with music. It's fantastic. So, strongly recommend for anywhere from starters all the way to professionals and beyond, with limitations. Have your expectations very much marginalized. Know what you're trying to get into. Know where your kind of whole experience lies. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It served me for some really cool bucket list experiences, and I hope to see it go to someone else in their bucket list experiences. This is the very first review of some technology that I've been doing. I've done some unboxings on my channels before, but I've never done a review of any tech items, so this is going to be the first of many. Look forward to more. I will probably have a part 2, like I said, showing you some more in-depth of the actual functions and such beyond it. But other than that, I think that wraps it up. I'm over it. I'm pretty tired. This Mio thing has been fantastic. So shout out Mio, sponsor me. Just saying, I've gotten unwound. I feel really good. Like I said, I usually use these energy ones with the caffeine. Got a shot of 100 milligrams of caffeine per squeeze, and makes for a real nice little pick me up. And I don't have to resort to those gnarly energy drinks that I used to be vastly addicted to. So, I think I'm going to get off here. I might go ahead and mix for a little while. We'll go ahead and see. I want to go and see how this review looks, see how it came out. I hope you all enjoyed. Give me a like, share, follow, subscribe, and check out some of the other mixes that I've done with this board and with other boards all over the world. I have dozens of them, and they're all from different bucket list experiences. So that's what I try to showcase in my artwork. That's what I try to showcase in all my mixes, and what I try to showcase with any of my creative technology things that I do. So if you need help with anything in life, if you want to get into this streaming thing, if you want to get into YouTube, into music, art, anything at all, TOT Worldwide, right there, Theory of Things Worldwide, that's the art collective. It's global. We are out here and we are doing all sorts of things. So if I can't help you, one of our creative professionals from around the world definitely can help you. So thank you for tuning into this review, and be sure to check out my other videos and like, follow, subscribe for more bucket list experiences. Thank you all, and thank you Numark for serving me well for a decade plus. I'm so happy, and it makes me see all the other DJs who I've met throughout my career who've really given props to Numark in all sorts of different respects. I mean, I've used mixers and other pieces and turntables from Numark for literally 20-30 years, and it's crazy. So I strongly commend this equipment. It works really well, and it's made me really satisfied. So please go ahead and grab your own. Check it out online. You can check it out Numark.com. And you can check out the Mixstream Pro Go, the only battery-powered standalone streaming controller with speakers and Wi-Fi and everything else. It's absolutely killer. I've enjoyed it. I like I said, I really have to give it 8.7 out of 10. Just those few little hiccups, and I wish it had a little bit more capabilities here and there, but through software, I hope that they clear out the recordings. I hope they clear out some of the other things that I know that they could with the looping and the such. And like I said, maybe they have. If they have, please let me know in the comments. Let me know in all of the posts. I read through your guys' stuff, and I make sure that we get to the bottom of it. So like I said, super happy with the entire unit. The large touch sensitive platters have been absolutely on point ever since I got it. The battery life, fantastic. And yeah, it's really amazing to see what it can do. Literally, yeah, he has it all unplugged. It's always a joke in the DJ community. Oh, he's unplugged, DJ, no wires. Yeah, no, literally, there's no wires because it's got speakers in it. You've got everything in it, and he's got an SD card plugged in right there. You can see it. So he literally didn't need anything else. Like, if you had it and you had like a JBL speaker with an auxiliary port, you can plug RCA into the auxiliary port, and it works great. You can do that through anything. That's actually how I have it plugged into my PC here. It is literally RCA into a little headphone jack into the line in. It works great. I'm just saying. Really amazed. Also plugged it into, like I said, QSC speakers with those XLR ports on the back. Some actual real high-end equipment, EVs, and all sorts of really cool goodies. So highly recommend. It's been a great unit for me, and truly, I don't think I didn't even use all of the features. I mean, like, it's talking about all the lighting experience, and you get real control for DMX lighting that you can have this thing plugged into, and it can have full light shows go on behind you for your nano leaf lighting or your full DMX setup with spotlights and floods and everything, and it times it all to the music, and it's freaking lit. So, like I said, it would probably do much better doing that all through Serato, just because the Serato software runs it much better. There's no way for you to hook it up to a computer and have it perform through Engine DJ. What you can do is have your laptop hooked up to it and have it plugged in with your Engine DJ library, and then that way you can have a full multi-terabyte library on here. But like I said, it does take SD card, so technically with this SD card slot in the back, you can just plug in a 2 terabyte SD card. Like I said, I keep 256 gigs on there just because I like it to be fairly quick to go through. With the SD card, I notice it's much easier to go through a large file format than the smaller one. So I truly do enjoy the versatility of this controller. It's unlike anything else I've used. I really am happy with it. The only thing that I'm looking into changing to is for a smaller controller that doesn't take up so much of this desk. This was already right at the very edge, and I squished everything as far back as I can, and I'm looking to live stream right here. This is going to be my setup for a minute, so I need space here, and being able to take out a small Pioneer FLX4 with a with an iPad is amazing. I found. I will admit the iPad even has more horsepower than the Numark Mixstream itself. The Mixstream, it does lack in horsepower. It runs, I would say, after a few hours is when it starts getting laggy. Maybe hour 5 and 6 is where it definitely starts hiccuping, and sometimes you'll need to turn the show off, turn the thing off, restart the unit, and let the DJ go again. It's happened multiple times. You just have to get on a microphone and let everyone know everything's okay, and you hope they're all doing well, and you want to know what they've been up to lately, and then get some crowd work, get some interaction going, and then while it's rebooting, have another DJ get on it, and you good. That's all you can do, because we doing it live. You heard, just like we did this mix, just like we did this recording, just like we did this review. Thank you very much. I think I nailed it. I think I might have talked too much. This is now a 1 hour long review. So we're going to see if we can condense this out somehow, some way, some shape or form. But I love you all. Thank you for being here. Till next time, this is the Bugging Man. You just watched Down the Rabbit Hole, and I hope you guys learned a few things. I know I did. Thank you for joining. Like, follow, subscribe. I was your host, the Bugging Man. Theory of Things Worldwide. We out here.
Time for the percolator.